Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Meat Belief Reviews. I'm Jeffrey.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here doing another before and after. Yet another one.
Yet another one.
But what's a before and after?
Well, before and after is where we give the people.
We always give to the people.
We always give to the people. Always giving, never taking for ourselves. We tell you our expectations of a game before we've ever played it. Then we play that game one single time, and we give you our first impressions, not a review, but our first impressions of what we thought after one single play.
All right, and today that game is going to be Mansions of Madness Second Edition. Now, I've never played the first edition.
And I have not either.
The thing that made me interested to pick this one up was the fact that it was run by an app.
Yes.
So that was what got me interested, because you can play through the scenario and there's a mystery that you're trying to solve, you're trying to investigate, which again kind of reminded me a little bit of Time Stories.
Right.
You don't know what you need to do going into it, so you're trying to uncover, and there's that sense of discovery and exploration. And then you figure out what's going on and hopefully try and be able to accomplish that goal.
Right.
So that's what got me interested about this game.
Yeah, that's kind of like the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to in this. I haven't played the first edition, but I did play House on Haunted Hill, which is a similar theme where you're kind of like going into this mansion and you're exploring and finding things. But this one's run by an app that is telling you everything that's going to happen. You don't know. It's like this story is just randomly unfolding as you play, which is just very intriguing to have an app present this big in the game. Like, it's the major part of the game.
It basically runs the game.
You can't play it without an app, right?
No.
So
you can't, like, it's not like, say, Alchemist, where there is components where someone could potentially, I don't know why they would want to, but in this game you need the app to play it. But I mean, that's fine for me, and that's actually what drew me into the game. The theme of the game, Cthulhu, I'm not a huge Cthulhu fan. It's not really doing anything for me. It's more that sense of exploration and investigation that I'm looking forward to.
Sure. The game also has puzzles, which are done on the app, as far as I know, and it's kind of like a timed or an act. You're spending a number of actions to try and figure out part of the puzzle. You might finish it, you might not. Someone else might jump in and try and finish it for you. I felt that was very clever. Yeah. And I'm interested to see how that works as well. I've heard that the puzzles are very straightforward and quite simple. Right. So it'll be interesting to see what it's like.
Right. All right, so really the only other thing that I want to mention is that this is a cooperative game. Right. Normally they aren't my cup of tea, but I'm optimistic going into this game. I think just the uniqueness nature with the app and all these different stories. It's not the same game over and over again. Right. That it'll be different depending on the scenario that you play. I think because of that, I will like this game.
Right. I'm also interested in kind of creating a character and playing that, doing a little bit of role play with the game as well, more so than just mechanically going, oh yeah, I move this guy, this is what I'm doing, but kind of maybe doing some voices or talking about the story and things that unfold that maybe I know that you don't know. And then there's the whole insanity feature, which I love, where you can become insane and you get a random end game condition that no one else knows about. Yeah. So you, kind of a traitor effect in there. So that it all intrigues me, this whole little thing. So well, and I think I'm excited about this game, but I'm not expecting it to be mind blowing. I don't think I'm going to ask for this to come to the table all the time, but I'm going to enjoy my plays.
I think that's my expectation. Doing voices will make the game even more enjoyable for me. So
there you go.
So let's get it to the table, and then we'll come back and see what we think of Mansions of Madness.
Let's do it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We just finished Mansions of Madness.
Second edition.
So, a little bit of background. We played 3-player.
Yeah.
We played the introductory scenario, Cycle of Eternity, or something like that.
Order. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Some sort of words in an order that makes sense.
And it had eternity in it.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. And it took us 2 hours and 16 minutes. So the game is longer than what I thought it was going to be.
Sure, yeah.
I thought, even for the intro, I thought it'd be maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah.
2:16. We did have to stop a couple times to look up a few rules.
Yep.
Especially when someone went insane.
Yeah.
Can't we steal something from them?
Yeah, how do we get stuff away from them?
Which we had to look up. But it was, I felt engaged the whole time.
Yeah. There was definitely all sorts of different things happening.
Oh, yeah.
You're constantly moving around. There's constantly things to investigate, new doors to go open and rooms to look in. Monsters are spawning and moving around the map, so you needed to be aware of them. There was always something to do. You were never just like, well, I don't know what to do next.
Yeah, the thing I liked about it is it wasn't just like about attacking.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, run into the room, kill monsters, like roll dice, attack. Run into this room, kill monsters, attack. Like, it wasn't just doing that. You'd be like, oh, what's behind this door? And then you're like, oh, it might be a monster which you have to attack, or it might be like some things for you to search.
Right.
Might be a puzzle that you have to solve. Mm-hmm. So there was a variety of different things happening, which made it not just be the same thing for over 2 hours.
Right.
Which I liked.
Yeah, and the puzzles that were in the game were simple enough, but they were involved.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like, oh man, this is this puzzle that you're going to be sitting here racking your brain trying to figure out. It's like, no, it's a simple little thing. Just move these tiles around or punch in random logic number puzzle to try and figure out a code. So it was mechanical more than a puzzle to rack your brain.
I think maybe with the more difficult scenarios,
yes,
they would probably be a lot more difficult than what we had to face.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I enjoyed it. Like you said, I don't think this is going to be begging to come to the table all the time just because of its length. Mm-hmm. But it is a nice change of pace. Having the app run things you'd never quite know what's going to happen
next. Yeah, I liked that aspect of it. The thing I didn't like about the app was I felt like the game dragged a little bit. It was just like, okay, what's the app doing now? Let's read this dialogue. And if you aren't reading the dialogue in some like cryptic tone and making like engaging everyone at the table, if you're just like, okay, blah, 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 read this and then do this test.
Right.
If you're not pulling people in, that length of the gameplay is really going to drag on you. I definitely felt, I wouldn't say bored, but I was at the table going, okay, yeah, when can I do something next? And then my next turn might be like, okay, well, we need to get over here. I'm just going to take these 2 steps and I don't have another action that I can take there. So I guess I'll just move again and that's my turn. And then it goes to the next person. And so you have actions where you're moving towards a goal and there's stuff to do on the table, but maybe you can't reach it that turn.
Right.
And so you kind of have like just a quick dead turn. And
you want
the game can, I wanted things to move along at a quicker pace, but it just didn't happen. So.
Right. The other thing I would say that I liked was there were certain things that I did or some other people did in the game that kind of came back to haunt us.
Sure.
So there is that feeling that you are actually interacting with the game.
Sure.
Like the decisions you make will have an impact later, which I thought was really neat.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Especially with like monsters and stuff.
Yeah.
And if you don't go and investigate in a certain room, there's the potential that maybe there's a monster in that room and it will come out on its own.
Yeah.
Like, just because you're not going to go into that room doesn't mean you're not going to have to fight that monster or deal with it. It might just come to you if you don't go to it. And that's a cool aspect that's kind of hidden in the app.
Yeah.
So that was really neat.
Yeah, overall, I enjoyed playing it. I think I'll keep playing the different scenarios. I don't think it'll be like every night of the week that I'll be playing it. No. But I did enjoy the play. I lived up to my expectations.
I think the thing that I enjoyed the most in the game was the combat isn't just, oh, I'm fighting melee combat, I'm going to do a strength test.
Right.
You have 6 different attributes, and there's this worded paragraph that's describing what you do. You don't have a physical choice. It's describing what your character does.
Yeah, you're not going and being like, oh, I'm going to try and kick this thing in the head. Or...
Right. Like, the game is telling you what your character did, and now you have to do maybe a perception test instead of a physical melee test. So you might be the big brute going in with this huge hammer or something, and then it's like, do a charisma test to beat this monster. And you're, what?
Well, yeah, I think it's influenced by what you check with, right? Like if you say you're attacking with a heavy weapon, then it might be more strength-based versus if it's unarmed, well, you might be trying to do an agility kick or something.
Jump over the table and then grab something and throw it across the room.
Or like even I tried to do an unarmed attack against a ghost just to see what would happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I ran through it, but then like you do like a will test to see if you can defeat the ghost.
Right, exactly.
So you're never quite sure of what's going to happen or how much damage you're going to do with things, which is neat.
Yeah, it was really cool. I found that the most engaging part of the game and my favorite part. As Jeffrey said, it's not a game that's going to come to the table a lot, at least for me. This would definitely be something I'd love to pull out at Halloween and make it cryptic. And maybe one or two other times throughout the year. But I can't see myself playing this more than 4 times in a year.
Right. All right, well, that is Mansions of Madness. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. We love it when you do that.
We sure do. You can also go down in the description down below and go to Board Game Links and give us some likes. We will also have in the description down below a link to our website where you can download our podcast if you want to hear us ramble on about a whole bunch of different things.
For a very long time.
For a very long time.
All right, see you guys next time.
Take care.